So when you run an event, you send out a thing called a sponsorship sheet. And sometimes you write things on that sponsorship sheet, and you're like, that makes tons of sense. But then the day of your hack day comes around, and you're like, oh, I promised that I would write a poem about Microsoft. Seemed hilarious and like no big deal at the time. Now, I have to present to you what I can only describe as a hastily composed, very complicated slam poem, which I have not attempted to memorize. First slam poem. This is my first one. Yeah. Okay. This poem has a heartbeat. It goes. This poem has a pulse. It beats. Sometimes it flutters. But bear with me, because this poem bears a name everybody knows. Microsoft. I remember the hazy look in my mother's eyes on Christmas morning. It's a flight simulator. It's Microsoft Flight Simulator, yeah. I remember thinking, fuck yeah, I'm gonna shoot the shit out of some fighter planes with this thing, man. I remember noticing, this is very difficult. I remember wondering, is this a game for grown-ups? Do I have to be a grown-up to play this? Like, do I have to be an actual professional 40-plus-year-old commercial pilot to have any chance whatsoever of ever understanding this video game? I remember telling my mother, I think I'm just gonna play this demo CD of Age of Empires I got in a magazine. The one with the planes is like homework for grandparents. I remember in the 6th grade looking my mother in the eye and telling her, Mama, one day I'm gonna buy a Dell of my own. I remember the back pages of PC Gamer. Dells on Dells on Dells. A tsunami of beige plastic. Windows XP included! Wow! And get this, free antivirus? What? Oh, I remember reeling, thinking, whoever's in charge at this McAfee outfit must be a little bit nuts. He gets it. I remember when it finally arrived, sheathed in styrofoam and as beige as it gets. I remember if it were possible to wear out CD-ROMs, I would have scraped that Age of Empires demo CD raw. I remember when they left. Mom? Dad? Nothing but the heavy wheezing of my Inspiron 4900's fan. I remember that. Good morning. Good night. Good morning. Good night. I remember painting a crude facsimile of my parents' faces on the side of that Dell computer. I remember mounting that computer on the neck of a mannequin. I remember dressing that mannequin in a smart pantsuit and naming it Mr. It's Gonna Be Okay. I remember the looks I got when I drove myself to school, sitting in the lap of a sharply dressed mannequin with a computer for a head. I remember the police officer who pulled me over on my way home. He was like, "What is happening right now? This is so confusing. Explain it to me. There's no way I could possibly understand without a lot of explanation." Oh, I remember being informed that my parents had told me several times that they were going to the movies and would be home in a few hours, and that I needed to stop replacing them with computer mannequins for once in my life. But this poem, it's not about that. Stupid. This poem is about Microsoft, okay? This poem is a triumph. This poem has an ending. This poem has a finale. And it goes like this. Thank you very much.